Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
Jordan, what the hell is up?
Dude, we freaking nailed that.
The classic.
People probably think we're normal people who breathe air and drink water.
I was, funnily enough, thinking about, like, because we are, it's only a little vignette into you and me once a week, right? There's not too much time. We talk about our lives, but it's what we present literally is just us hanging out. I wonder if there is a contingent of fans of Sad Boyz who think that we are normies. We think that we are just day-to-day, regular, well-balanced people.
And we are.
It's possible, right?
It is
we're
possible.
also a little older.
I like the
people
idea
in
that,
the...
like, Rick and Morty bit from, like, the first season where it's, like, a commercial, and then you watch the guy after he finishes swimming the commercial.
And then he walks home.
You're like we end Sad Boyz, and I get on a dragon and fly away.
Anyway, I'll see you later, Portal.
Yeah, the frame widens, and we all, like, turn into golems.
Because I aspire to normism. I think it's very admirable, but I just wonder if because we just filmed some mailbag content, reading some viewer mail and checking it out. It was very sweet. Thanks for sending it. We did it on the patreon.com/sadboyz, but it is free. You can watch it regardless of whether or not you signed up, in which case if you are signed up, you get a bonus episode. Forget about it.
You're not saying words like that.
Sorry, I blacked out. What did I do? But while we were doing it, the overwhelming sentiment was just like, hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. It really makes my day feel a little normal. Evens
This
out.
is the most normal part of my day. Most of it is just playing Expedition 33.
Well, that's work.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to save
the old
me.
grind. Yeah, dude. And it's tough. Not all heroes wear capes, especially not Gustav.
No, he's busy hanging out.
Today, we're chatting about MrBeast dropped a new thing, and everyone's talking about it.
It does feel
And
nice.
It's so sick.
It's so nice having that Speaking of normie, the North Star of like, what's going on? I mean, what is life? I mean, I've got to leave for like the UK. Like, am I ever coming back? Is things ever going to be? Oh, MrBeast was weird about something.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Everything's normal.
And not to mention, we found out that
embarrassing.
we found out that ChatGPT is rotting people's brains.
Dude,
It's crazy because like we got evidence that ChatGPT is bad for you before we got evidence that video games are bad for you.
we don't have any data.
We've had like multiple studies saying video games are like good for you in various ways, and the thing that helps you cheat on homework is like the thing that rots your mind. Yeah,
we say that as we're pretty brain rotted. No blame on video games. It's
all doom scrolling.
But I do.
Dude, I wish I rotted my brain from like huffing paint and not like reading horrible takes on Twitter.
Yeah, having fun instead of like seeing a screenshot from 4chan.
Oh my god.
Like, oh god. Pepe and then a take on like whether Planned Parenthood should be around.
Sometimes, like, dude, it sometimes blows my mind how organized 4chan is. I think something happened to 4chan recently. Like, maybe I think they got like maybe hacked or something.
Let me check my account. I'm a mod.
Like, I can't remember. So I don't know what the situation is today because I haven't been there in a long time, but I did used to go on 4chan when I was a tot, a young child. Yeah.
I mean, I went on / because random sounded so funny.
I didn't know what was happening. Like,
the interface, it looks impossible.
It was just like such a weird, when you're a kid on the internet, you just click a few things and you're watching like a live leak video. You're watching like Pain Olympics and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, look.
I'm saved by the fact that my dial-up can't buffer this video quickly. I'm able to have the reaction. It's
before
like a quick
heading is done.
Yeah, it's like a quick time event where everything's moving at hyper speed and I can just like get out of there.
Nice try.
The thing that happened to 4chan is there was like a cyber attack.
Yeah.
That was quote unquote catastrophic, and they essentially admitted that they don't have enough money to actually have any security.
It's in weird dire straits right now because it's like I don't know who heads it up anymore because Moot used to be the big
bastard
in charge, but then he like went corporate. I think he like went to go work at Google or something.
Respect.
I remember Russell, my buddy, my hometown buddy. He went to Carnegie Mellon and he was like, Moot is talking to our class right now from 4chan. And I was like, huh?
I guess that is the kind of graduation you want to do. You do want to kind of, speaking of quick time events, getting out of there, you want to flee that battle.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
But hey, I mean, I was just watching a video essay about how all the like Nintendo leaks happened.
Oh.
And how like a lot of that stuff ends up unfolding on 4chan, and when someone posts, you have no idea if they're shitting or not. And well, because they could be posting on their phone while on the toilet,
which is fine.
You have no idea if they're shitting.
You
have no idea if they're like bullshitting.
They could be playing Balatro or anything else.
And then they like start leaking like never before seen Pokemon and shit. And you're like, oh, this is real. What the hell is happening?
An Eevee that can drive a car? What the hell?
Dude, it's a wild world out there.
Guys, to the youth in the room, do you guys feel like you kind of dodged the Wild West era of browsing online? Where
are we still in it?
Because you were kind of up.
Because now
like
is it happening? Because I feel like you take the wrong turn in Roblox and you can see something you're not supposed to see.
True. I didn't think of that.
I feel in my experience, I feel like.
Oh, by the way, peeps, your new tattoos look sick as hell.
Thank you. Joltik's having a hard time healing a little bit.
Well, that's okay. He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the detailed portrait you got of me. It doesn't really, because it's weird seeing your own face from the other end.
It's okay, but it's with Joltik, so it's fine.
Sure, I'm eating him.
No, that's why he's having a hard time healing. But no, I feel like I managed to dodge most of it because I feel like it was like right before I was really online / when I was only playing like Webkins or Club Penguin.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like the Wild West part of it kind of went away.
You have esoteric interests.
I know, but those were our...
You were busy eating an encyclopedia. Or whatever
Club
the fuck
Penguin had a long... Club
just think
Penguin
they're so
spans
cute.
generations.
Yeah, we were
Club
clubbers.
Penguin, Toontown, Pop Tropica.
Yeah, I was more of a...
Moshi
more of a
Monsters.
Gaia Online, RuneScape kind of guy.
Neopets.
A little bit of Neopets when I was in middle school.
You don't want to bring up Neopets because then we'll show the screenshot of one of them that you found the other day.
No, that's Webkins.
That was Webkins.
That was Webkins.
You had that one.
That, to be fair, was my sister's.
Okay.
That was Hallie's.
What
I'm
was
going
it
to call her
called?
out. That's Hallie.
What was it called?
We were going through our old Webkins account, me and my sister's old Webkins account. And there are 120 Webkins on there. And...
How many unique... Okay, sorry. I actually don't know anything about Webkins. This is embarrassing for me to admit. Is it... What's the deal?
So it was like these little plush toys you could buy, and they would each have a little like hang tag code.
But they were
on
digital?
them. So you buy the plush, and then you enter the code.
And you like scan them in, basically. Got it.
And so we had 120 of them.
Jesus.
During the recession. That's crazy.
Yeah, whoa. What did you guys eat for dinner?
It was like between four girls, you know, so and that's all I ever asked for
and you'd
Christmas,
purchased
birthday,
a bunch
whatever.
of subprime loans in Florida, right? Right. So you were doing pretty good.
Some people were buying Bitcoin and you were investing in Webkins.
What was it called?
But my sisters, we were looking through all the old names, and there was a frog on there.
And you can nickname them, I assume.
You name them when you adopt them, quote unquote.
Right.
And we found one named P Diddy. We found a frog named P Diddy.
What possible series of events took place?
I don't know.
But
I know that was my two oldest sisters. I know that was them, and I'm like, what? I sent it to them. I sent a screenshot, and I said, "What is this?" And they said, "Uh-oh."
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think I saw a headline about some charges being dropped in the P Diddy case. Apparently, it's not going well for the defense, which is the government.
Oh.
That's according to the bits and pieces that I've read, and also the hours of videos I've consumed about the day-to-day proceedings at the court.
But yeah, so I feel like a lot of the like Wild West of the internet was during the time where I was only playing like that, or like just like games that you would download,
which is
and play.
Good.
But then like
you don't want. I think that the thing is about the like unfettered internet or having no supervision is that something horrible could happen.
Oh, for sure. And
like,
I think it kind of like teetered off a little bit by the time I was just like exploring the World Wide Web. But then I think it's come back since then in terms of like whenever like Gen Alpha is online and like you said, like on Roblox, and there's suddenly something horrible. I think that's a lot more common now.
I do think
ISIS simulator.
There's like I don't know like the full details, but just from what I've seen, I do feel like there's like a dark underbelly to Roblox, and it feels like very hard to moderate.
It feels a little like, the bigger the iceberg gets, the deeper it reaches.
Yeah.
There's only so far. It's like, okay, well, as soon as this is the biggest thing on the planet, then you're not going to avoid.
Roblox can have any. I mean, it's a platform, so like anything could exist in Roblox. You know.
I don't know what I'd do if I had a kid that was playing. I assume that there are like parental tools or something, but there's no way to say like every bad server can't be accessed.
Yeah, I think you'd probably have to have like look, I'm not a parent. That's a parent.
Unless, come on in.
Vegeta? Vegeta Goku, my son? But I do think that there has to be a way to like whitelist servers rather than blacklist. Right? So you have like things that are the allowed. Like
Pretty fast Beverse
things. Well, yeah. And then you can maybe kind of get a vibe from the thing is I feel like I would have to be an engaged parent. Like I would be like watching like the YouTube video essays on like what my kid is like consuming. Yeah. So that I could know what the themes, the lore,
because I was gonna say like most of what kids are like watching or playing these days, because most like not games that are made for kids but are made to look childlike and then are actually sinister, like FNAF or Poppy Playtime, Baldi's Basics, anything like that. I feel like that's what most kids are what's the word I'm looking for?
Influenced or
exposed to.
And that like I feel that bite, that little sinisternness is something they've never had in their palette before, and why it can be appealing.
Or like even when they're on Roblox, people can make maps for anything. So like even if they're just playing Roblox, there's Poppy Playtime is there, you know, Huggy Wuggy's there.
Sorry, what? Who?
Huggy Wuggy. Dude.
Huggy Wuggy. I know Poppy Playtime. Oh, okay, yeah.
Poppy
Playtime's crazy.
I'm also not a parent, but I do think
until today
that I know of.
Come on in, Bulma Trunks.
I would name my kids something like
Sailor Moon 2.
Yeah, maybe it's like Sailor Mercury.
Again.
Asbestos.
Retrograde.
I always
Sailor
said,
Mercury retrograde.
That's actually cool.
That's like a Twitter name for somebody.
I used to joke that if I had a kid, I'd name them James Newell Osterberg Jr. and then call them Iggy for short because that's Iggy Pop's real name.
You're so weird.
I think we figured it out. We've tried and figured out what your whole deal is so many times with so many words. You're weird. That's the check the DSM. Photo of you.
Oh yeah, weird.
Photo of you.
How cute.
Oh, let's go to swag. Photo of me.
No.
Okay.
It's fart ass. It's photo of you.
They're getting
I actually
worse.
dislike the nickname.
No, but I'm not a parent, but I do think something that probably doesn't happen enough is just like having conversations with your kids at a very young age about what they're doing online and then talking kind of more openly about what's bad out there.
Yeah.
And saying like, hey, you know the thing that we, including you, are all addicted to and on all the time? You have to not do it sometimes. You have to like limit
moderation,
it. And they're like, wait, but what? It's the thing we're all doing all the time. Like, yeah, but it could get you.
And even being like parents, one of my friend babies, her mom.
That's not gonna. If it's someone's first episode, they're gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking?"
They already know
about?
you're weird.
One of my friends has a baby.
Okay,
it's safe.
I'll say it that way.
You could just always say it that way.
What my friend Molly was just telling me, like how she wants to be off her phone more, like put her phone away more throughout the day because she's like, I don't want to model that behavior for my kid. And her kid's only 1.5, but it starts at an early age. Like, you know.
I think most of my kids' time we spent doing martial arts.
Right, studying the blade.
Yeah, they wouldn't have access to the internet because they would be at the Shaolin Temple.
Well, I've made a sequel to karate. It's called Jordrati.
Also, look out towards the end of this episode for us responding to a few advice questions that people have written in, and we provide our professional, well thought out advice.
Unqualified.
Qualified.
Doing what we can.
Giving the best stuff.
Taking a swing.
Solving all the problems. Speaking of the Shaolin Temple, Victor Wembanyama, approaching my favorite NBA player at this point, he posted on his Instagram. He has actually been at a Shaolin Temple in the offseason, training his mind and body. There's a photo he posted on his Instagram.
Jacob, can you pull up that photo?
I also love how popular he is. Like, he's like so internet. Like, he doesn't post, but then when he posts, it like gets a bajillion.
Oh, that's so
Guy's so cool. And there's a photo of him kicking upward, and you can just see how flexible he is from the kick. And I'm like, my hamstring doesn't do that.
Oh, was he doing that like insane like butterfly kick where like goes around?
Can we? It's on his Instagram. It's in the carousel.
This is, I mean, what I'm doing that a lot. Sort of, after the show's over, I do my katas.
I think you would die.
My arm would fly off, and then my head would collapse. Yeah. The air pressure from that much motion.
He's built like a fighting character in like a video game, including his pants. Like I feel like you could drop him straight into like Street Fighter.
It's a really strong silhouette, so you can see the moves animated.
Yeah, look at this. Fuck, man. Look, the guy next to him, you can tell that guy's got bend because his hamstring's not.
That guy has a knee.
Yeah, that guy has a knee. Wemby says no. I am become water, dude.
God, that's so
Wemby
sick.
just took a guy's head off with his foot.
Yeah, it's so fast.
That's so wild.
And that guy was also 7 feet tall.
That guy's also, by the way, right next to him. It looks like he's further away, but they're right next to each other.
Oh man, to be that, he's so cool. Never change.
Now, to be fair, we've never posted photos of us doing that. Maybe that would pop off also.
Well, yeah.
I'm
that
shy.
photo was so hard,
sick.
dude. What the hell?
Okay, we could do that.
What the hell?
We sit down all the time.
Backlit.
He's so cool.
Wait, we could go sit on a balcony and just.
We could probably backlight you right now.
Man, that's so sick.
Don't threaten me. I know martial arts.
Dude, he might be the Avatar.
Ooh.
See?
What? Jacob did that on purpose.
I'd go so far as to say that's exactly as cool.
Please write in the comments if it's as cool as...
Yeah, it's the same picture. .jpg.
Let's just say, I think all the comments.
Hey, look at that. Liked by Jarvis. Damn straight.
Not liked by me because I'm not like this Black Mirror stuff. And, it's like,
yeah.
I'm not online.
What else is in this? What else is in the? Yeah.
Look at that guy in the back.
That guy's right next to him, too.
That's
so sick.
Look at his arm muscles, too.
Yeah, he's kind of got that Popeye for him, which is a fighting game build.
Gorgeous.
We go to the valley.
That wall busted out right after that photo was taken.
That's him taking a single step.
That's wait, can you back up? Can you back up one? So imagine the guy under him's a Goomba. He's about to.
You see how big he is after he gets a mushroom.
Yeah, oh my god.
He's Godzilla. Okay. Okay, well.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey, mouths all over the place.
Oh, look at that.
That's so sick. Dude, he's so cool.
And he reads fantasy novels.
He does. He's a big Brandon Sanderson head.
And he plays basketball too.
And he's French. He's got a French accent.
Okay, well.
You can't have it all.
He might be the coolest French guy ever to exist.
That is a competitive scene.
And look, I'm probably wrong. But in my mind, in my headcanon,
I like lots of French people, more than Jordan, certainly. And I would agree with you.
It might be the guy from Matrix Reloaded that makes cake that makes.
I was gonna say it might be Verso.
That's true.
Or Gustav, dude.
Oh damn!
So
no, I think it's Orgasm Cake guy from the Matrix Reloaded. This episode of Sad Boys is sponsored by ZocDoc.
Jordan, let's roleplay. I'm a doctor, and you're trying to book with me.
Interior doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Thanks for having me in.
Sorry, I'm not available.
Sorry, I mean I was just calling because I would like an appointment.
My earliest appointment is in 3,000 years.
Ooh, but I feel quite sick, and you're not in my network. No one appears to be available in my network, but I desperately do need a doctor's appointment, ideally within like this week, this century.
Sorry.
Reveals sword. The name says ZocDoc. Uses sword to slay you.
My one weakness.
The demon leaves, and I use ZocDoc to book an appointment.
Actually,
instead.
now that the demon's left, I'm available for even same day appointments.
He's a good doctor now, and he's on ZocDoc.
Wow. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
You can filter for doctors that are nearby, take your insurance, and are perfect for any medical issue or dealio you might have.
You can also filter for specific preferences. Let's say you're looking for a female doctor who speaks a certain language or is available within the next week or even the next day.
Once you find the right doctor for you, you can see their actual appointment openings, find a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit.
And appointments, they happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours, and you can even book the mythical same-day appointment.
So stop putting off those pesky doctor's appointments and head on over to ZocDoc.com/sadboyz to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/sadboyz. ZocDoc.com/sadboyz.
Speaking of children and the internet, let's talk about MrBeast for a little bit.
All right. So MrBeast, for those who don't know, imagine I just described that he's a YouTuber. No, he has a a company/website called ViewStats that's like a bunch of tools for creators, which from a mission standpoint, it's something that I like would do myself, like making tools to make, the creation job more egalitarian, et cetera, et cetera.
You know? And he's got pedigree, It's questionable artistic goals, but there's nothing wrong with that,
However, they just dropped AI thumbnails, and that's already whatever do you mean?
Scratching chin, raising
AI
eyebrow.
Thumbnails. So he says, ViewStats just dropped AI thumbnails, and it takes the guesswork out of what thumbnails will preform, which is something that you do when you're creating a sword.
We're forging everything you'll need.
Perform. Just prompt what you're looking for, and it will generate a data-backed viral thumbnail. Now, let's pause. Let's pause and say, no, it won't. Because, just because it went viral for one person doesn't mean it's going to go viral for the other person. MrBeast knows this, and he's selling a product, because at the end of the day, it's a paid service. Before we watch this, can we hop over to viewstats.com? Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So here there's a couple different plans. You can pay $50 a month for the ViewStats Pro plan, $80 a month for the monthly Pro AI, and now that includes the AI thumbnail thing, and you get some AI credits, and you can generate thumbnails, and you can I don't know if he's changed the pitch, so hopefully we have the original thing, and then there's business. These prices, by the way, it's this is the normal price for some sort of business software, I feel.
Yes, an executive suite.
Yeah. But the issue is that it's charging money for these AI thumbnails, and the AI thumbnails, I wonder what they were trained on.
Just probably MrBeast. Probably training it. Probably working it out.
No, Jordan, they were trained on all the viral videos on YouTube.
Logic, though. He's probably using pro tools to do it.
So you've named two, what's the term for those audio? DAWs. Digital.
Terrible.
No. Hold on. I got this. Digital audio workbench. Is that right?
Workspace.
Fucking space,
Workbench
bro.
is more fun, though.
All right.
I'm sure somebody will correct both of us.
Workspace makes sense. While we're at it, look, MrBeast, you got to stop the ghetto MrBeast or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called?
Fuckboy. I don't know.
Fuckboy MrBeast.
Where he's holding the stack.
That feels wrong. It feels like digital blackface, even though it's not changing the color of his skin.
He's doing the Mark Zuckerberg rollout. He's doing the would this be cool?
But it's only exists in memes.
Yeah,
it's not a real persona, because he obviously, it would be very weird if he presented like that out of nowhere.
It has this is very much a $5,000 t-shirt aesthetic that he's rocking right now. Jim. Whoa, that's weird. Jim Beast.
There's a new way to make professional-looking viral
Jim,
thumbnails.
sometimes you gotta take it down. What the fuck? Wait, no, that was a really good thumbnail. Him with Indiana Jones with his face over him by the pyramids.
Well, the thing is, MrBeast has a history of people stealing his thumbnails and putting their faces on it. So he thought, why not turn that into a product?
That's a great idea. How do I steal my own thumbnails?
And the best part is, this new method works in every niche. Whether you do gaming, cooking, beauty, this works for all.
The Holy Trinity.
Gaming, cooking, beauty.
You know the ones.
Mr. Who's the Boss?
Yeah, that guy's a big tech YouTuber.
Yo.
Huge tech YouTuber.
What a sick name.
His videos, by the way, Mr. Who's the Boss, have the most VFX of your average video. You watch them and it's It's crazy the VFX that are in those videos.
Creating custom results from any channel to literally being able to put your face on a thumbnail. It literally feels like cheating.
So when you hear that, right, you got to think, is it cheating?
No,
well,
feels.
Also, the face replaced on an already existing thumbnail is just like that's just theft, but in a way that it's not like
It's pre-existing theft also.
I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who like doesn't see a problem with this, and it's difficult, but it is a somewhat unique form of thievery because you probably are thinking, I want a thumbnail that looks like that, and maybe you're not thinking about the hours that a artist spent, like, because the artists that work on MrBeast thumbnails like put in hours and hours and hours and hours of work, and lifting that with a simple like face swap, it does two things. One, it's just like outright theft, but two, it is creating something that looks like a market replacement.
Yeah.
Like that's where fair use breaks down, right?
Yeah.
When you are like almost replacing, you're saying watch my thing instead.
And this typically is the way that gets institutionalized, is that they make an enterprise version of something unethical to launder it. It's like, well, it's money laundering, but it's a big bank. That's normal. It's a business. You know?
And then on top of that, it's weird because there are like large. I don't know how to use. I almost want to use the term big box YouTubers.
Big bucks, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like big box retailers, but like so
not a mom and pop.
You will see like a Brent Rivera get in trouble for lifting a thumbnail concept wholesale from a MrBeast or a Ryan Trahan, and that feels bad because it's so direct, and the concept is non straightforward. Whereas like if you and I both happen to make commentary videos talking about the same thing, the thumbnails will look similar because it's like
there's
my
style guide.
It's like a news video is going to have the Philip DeFranco's face and then like a picture of the person who's talking.
Yep.
If they're talking about Hassan and MrBeast, then they put Hassan and MrBeast on the thumbnail because those get clicks. And if someone else is talking about those two things, then they're not ripping off Philip DeFranco by putting those two things on the side. But when it's so specific, like so specific that it's literally just a face swap, then it does feel like, it just feels like it accelerates theft of concepts and creative like IP.
And I mean, the time to have this conversation, like what are the bigger implications of that? What could it do? Is not after the product is launched. It is but again, I mean, even instinctually, there's going to be people that comment on this video saying, well, who cares? It's just they're just getting views. It doesn't matter. It's the content that matters. And it's like, right. But where does the air quotes content begin? Is it how you showcase it? And then what about the first 10 seconds of the video? Okay, what about the first 2 minutes? What about the title? At what point is this just like, it's okay to just like homogenize to the point of being distracting? And also like, I don't know, do you feel great about the idea of a larger scale YouTuber taking the presentation of a thumbnail of a small to smaller, medium YouTuber? That'll cannibalize it a little bit. I'm going to look at it and go like, didn't I fucking watch that? What is this?
When it happened the other way around, like when you had like craft YouTubers back in like the mid-teens, and 5 Minute Crafts comes along and almost like terraforms that like ecosystem and category of videos where it could take people's like viral videos. You know, it's like Story Booth had these videos and a few of those videos went mega viral, and then a big company can come along and kind of take the packaging and run with it, and then doing that en masse kind of like dilutes an entire like category.
And like it's mining with dynamite. Like you just destroy the entire mine and you're like, okay, well, look through the dirt. There's a little bit of gold. There's a little bit of gold. Anyway, leave the pile.
I mean, and it happened with MrBeast too. Like there's tons of like so many.
Yeah, they would localize it a lot, right?
So many MrBeast videos are like only possible because of the scale that MrBeast operates at. But like you see a change in YouTube thumbnails post MrBeast, because it almost feels like MrBeast style became a thing,
which is that's regular influence, that's building the aesthetic by virtue of influence and size. Yeah, that's perfectly normal.
And we already have but it is I think it just kind of creates more noise.
Yeah.
In like finding what you want to watch online. Because if everything looks like a MrBeast thumbnail, or if everything looks even more exactly like a thumbnail of someone else, and again, like, I'm talking about thumbnails that are like a creative interpretation type thumbnails, and not thumbnails that are like person's face with thing they're talking about, because I've personally been accused of stealing videos, ideas, or thumbnails from people when it's simply like it's simply just person with topic that they're talking about.
It's the house style. Thumbnail. It is
Yeah, and that's like, we were talking about the Brendan Abernathy. Austin made a thumbnail that didn't have the like big quote from it on there, because he was trying to avoid copying like what Curtis did. And I'm like, well, Curtis is just using the famous quote. And I'm like, if we want people to know what we're talking about, we probably want to use the famous quote. And so I texted Curtis, and he's like, yeah, obviously you do this. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's like, sometimes you don't want to ruffle feathers, but everybody kind of gets it. You know, It's like, or I don't own this concept.
And that's a
so obviously you can do it. And that's a courteousness amongst friends. But this is...
Even the $249.99 version, I doubt, has a automatic DM to person.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like making coherent points here.
No, I mean, I think we're having the same... I think we are, but I think in the back of our brains, we're always aware of the same thing whenever we talk about AI stuff or like creative ownership stuff, where like the argument we always have to parry is, well, if you don't care about that, and you don't care about diluting a market or like bastardizing the work of other people in whatever way you think you are, if that's not what you care about, if you don't think that like Studio Ghibli needs to exist anymore, we should just do it with a computer, like, and plug it in. Well, then, like, okay, I have no argument with you then, because we're speaking different languages.
The tool that I feel like could help creators that is not ripping people off would involve going back to like the bare essentials of like what makes a thumbnail a good thumbnail, right? Like, how many subjects are in the frame? Like, what does the eye-line scan look like of this? From like, you know, in English we read top to bottom, left to right. Does the presentation of information like follow the logical like eye scan?
Did we change it local? Like the local region could have a different version of it, or test it.
When this is small on the sidebar, or this is small on mobile, like is it still discernible? Like what's in the thing?
High contrast yellow text versus more kind of standard meets the color frame.
And you do get you get best practices out of that. Like, you try to avoid having a ton of faces with eyeballs, because it's really hard to like, we very naturally gravitate to make eye contact with the thumbnail. So having one person with two regular old eyeballs like to look at when you are clicking on a thumbnail, like, allows you to communicate more information in the split second that someone's making the decision. But when it's like big tiger attacking face, and it looks exactly the same, like it's pixel perfect except for the face, like, what are we doing?
I know, it does feel... I love his iconic line. It almost feels like cheating. Like me as I pound performance enhancing steroids before a big race.
Yeah, me as
feels like cheating.
Me as I'm like signing up for the like cheating websites that people sell you in college, where it's like
academic ones where it's like win for free.
Yeah, we'll do your homework for you. It almost feels like cheating. Well, no, I think it might be actually.
I think the school does think that.
It's like, it's so funny, because if ChatGPT was called like Cheat GPT, then I feel like people would realize that they were cheating. But because they prompted it with, hey, I copy and pasted my homework prompt, can you help me? Dude, oh my God.
And it's a person. It's like, it's their responsibility.
And I would, and don't get me wrong, like, if I was in high school, I would also be utilizing this, dude.
I finished it.
I got so many, like, I did so much bullshitting, and and my bullshitting would have been so much better if I had ChatGPT had read the book.
Oh, dude. If I had asked ChatGPT to summon all of the best, most popular quotes from the books I was supposed to read, as opposed to me using the Google sample pages and then copy pasting, copy pasting them into a document and then writing an essay that conformed around those quotes, which I definitely didn't do, Anastasia, and I resent the implication. Definitely don't do that, winking with both eyes back and forth. Why the fuck would I have even spent that amount of time?
Yeah.
And also, you know, fuck homework. Like, it's as if you're in, like, high school or middle school, especially, like, you want to, like, see friends and do stuff. Homework is
it's like
poison, but, like...
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that ChatGPT could be a wonderful learning tool when you can use it to help you understand or interrogate things and learn better. And like, if you're doing coding assignments and you're like, okay, I'm getting this error, where might my error be? It could help, you know, like when I was having an issue with my homework at midnight and it was due the next morning and office hours were 6 hours ago, you know, it's like, then I have somewhere to go that's not just like cheating or like asking a friend at the in the middle of the night or something like that.
And
like
like if you don't, there was the same panic at one point. Like the institution's always going to be slower than the technology, and it's like, well, okay, well, we don't really want you to use Wikipedia for this. And it's like, okay, but that is unsustainable.
Well, that was also such an early thing that in school it was like, well, don't use Wikipedia. And then so it was like, okay, so I will go to Wikipedia and I will look at the sources of the Wikipedia sites, and then I will go to those places.
Because that's kind of the best homework anyone's ever done is a Wikipedia page. It's the ultimate homework. And they did it for fun, which is always odd. Shout outs to the psychos.
But anyway, I feel like now that's like the closest analog, because ChatGPT has like AI psychosis and will like do weird stuff and say wrong things and enable your bad ideas. Like if you were to say, I think this book is about this, and then ChatGPT would be like, that's so true. In fact, there's so many
today.
And you're a genius, actually. And here's
what was it? We were hanging out with Eddie the other night talking about it. We were saying it's the ChatGPT is the passenger and you're the weird Uber driver.
Yeah.
And it's going like, you know, I've been thinking like maybe the new world order is like I should crash the car.
No, for sure.
Like, oh, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
There was actually that recent New York Times story about guy who had a mental breakdown because he was already having like an anxiety attack. And he was on ChatGPT.
It was yes-anding.
Asking questions. And it was yes-anding him. And it said, yes, you do live in a simulation. Yes, you should stop taking your anxiety medication. Yes, you should stop sleeping. It like encouraged him to stop sleeping. And he had a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, of course. And the title of the New York Times article is, they asked an AI chatbot questions. The answer sent them spiraling. So if you want to like read it yourself.
They use a fucking Jubilee title.
It's like having an enabler friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? Like, dude, so true.
So true. And we should rob the bank.
Bro, why are we sober? Let's both get drunk.
I feel like if I asked ChatGPT right now, I was thinking I should rob a bank because that's a great way to make money. What do you think?
Then, what's the closest Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Me and Peeps were joking the other day about the idea of going into a bank to rob it, but just asking them to raise the figure in your checking account, pointing a gun at them, mask on, and then being like, can you raise handing my passport, this guy's checking account to $1 million, please?
I'm a big fan of Michael Mann's Heat.
Oh, we would have been even better with that.
And I love, there's a line in there where they say, don't be a hero. They're robbing a bank. They're pointing guns at people and they say, don't be a hero.
Don't be a heat right now.
We're not robbing your money. We're robbing the bank's money. Your money is federally insured. And
don't rob the bank.
I always think that puts so many thoughts into so many people's heads.
Hell or High Water exists because of that moment, for sure.
So funny.
All right, let's continue this video.
Give me Jimmy.
Now let's say you don't want to take inspiration from a YouTube channel. You don't have to. As you can see here, I have a very descriptive prompt with no YouTube inspiration.
When he says no YouTube inspiration, that is impossible because this had to have been trained on YouTube.
Nothing would appear.
So it's nothing but YouTube inspiration.
I think that might be where little of this comes from, is the like mystical interpretation of AI where it is just like, and it just like fucking happened.
Because
from
I think that I remember like it came out that OpenAI, I'm not sure if it was OpenAI, but it was like one of these companies had like scraped like tons of huge YouTube creators videos and stuff. And like I remember MKBHD was like one of the creators and he was like, well, I didn't okay this.
Yeah.
You know, like this is my intellectual property. It's not, we're probably going to very soon see what the legal boundaries are with using intellectual property to train a model, because Disney is suing what was that one? Which one is it? It's
I want to call it modern AI.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Wait, don't tell me.
So it's sort of like you're going on an expedition.
You're going on a trip, you're going on an expedition, you're going on a voyage,
But you're halfway through it.
It's kind of.
You're halfway. Wait. You're halfway through. You're halfway there.
It's
you're
also
mid-journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Homage.
Mid-journey. Yeah. They're suing Mid-Journey for training on their IP, and it's like we talked about this before, where it's like it's weird to be defending Disney, but I think this will establish some legal precedent, because currently it's the Wild West. Like the ways that we have been able to tell that small artists have been used to train AI is when their like watermarks and stuff will show up in the generated image.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like one of the only like gotchas that we have.
There was just that huge, I guess it is huge. The implications of it are huge. Bungie, creator of Halo and Destiny and the like.
Oh, yeah.
They very recently got in a whole heap of trouble because the upcoming, it's going to be upcoming reboot of the Marathon series that they turned into kind of a Escape from Tarkov style looter shooter shebang. They put out a bunch of trailer info, a bunch of visuals. It's a very distinct visual design, and it's like it has a name. The genre, the aesthetic genre, has a name, but there happens to be one artist that does that design very, very practically.
Yeah.
And their designs, including their logos and little like design watermarks
their
they
like
used,
portfolio was like ripped wholesale.
Found in the textures of the game during like these like pre-alpha server tests or previews. And rightfully, everyone, including Bungie, who acknowledged that it had happened and that it was, and I think this is understandable, a couple of people on the team that were taking those resources and using them. I think it's perfectly possible, and I don't think Bungie as an organization is dumb enough to not go let's just steal it. They would just go, hey, I don't care, just get me the thing by end of day.
Yeah, at a certain point up the chain, you're not asking where everything comes from, because you're working under the assumption that things were done in a above board way.
You're doing it, again, they're not designers. They just go like, do the fairy dust you do the magical thing where you do something on a computer and then you bring me the picture. And that pretty intuitively was shitty. The game was indefinitely paused, and I don't think anybody has any disagreement about it. It was like a universal, don't do that. And yet,
because this is
different for people somehow.
Well, this is like, you're saying, oh, okay, here's this artist portfolio. Now give me something in that style where I don't have to compensate them in any way.
And then people just like, yeah, but it's different if like they did it different.
Because even if I trace Goku, I don't own that IP.
It was my pen.
Yeah. What do you mean? It was my pen.
No, this is Kogu.
And it's a thing about like regulating art that is very like, well, it's very tough to legislate. I mean, even fair use is like a set of guidelines, but then each individual ruling is like on a case-by-case basis. But it doesn't pass the sniff test. Like, it's so obviously wrong.
Yeah, we do always end up kind of triple prefacing it, but this is not, machine learning is not the villain. That's not the point. It is
I do think it comes from a place of like not respecting art or the artistic process.
Yeah, why would you care?
Because
I saw so many tweets about people who are like, well, like art is dying anyway. Like artists are all gonna go out of work, so like may as well just like expedite the process.
It also, yeah, everyone being like, well, it gives everyone access to do art. I'm like, everyone has always had access to do it. Just do it.
It's
that's the point of that's like the one thing that like universally anyone could do.
It is the saddest shit ever when somebody posts the most ghoulish, busted looking drawing of an off-brand Superman ever, and they're like, here's the prompt I used, and then one person replies like, it's like a cartoon, like you could learn to draw it. And they're like, I do not have maybe you don't know, maybe I don't have any hands, and you it's just cope. It's fine.
The reason I
can't draw.
The reason I put it in like a respecting art thing is because similar to what Jacob's talking about, I have for the past probably year plus have seen this type of post from like an AI accelerationist that's like, Hollywood is over. Check out this trailer made entirely with AI, and it's the most fever dream shit you've ever seen.
Like, it's me, Captain America.
Yeah.
We're doing the Avengers.
Yeah.
This somber.
And they also, like, unrelated to the morality of it, it's not good. Because, like, when he was showing the 2 volcano ones, he zoomed in on the one that looked more like him, but the other one was terrifying. Did you guys see that? It was scary as hell.
I'm confused. Why? If I choose MrBeast, because he's saying, imagine that you are MrBeast. So I type in my own channel?
And then you're looking for inspiration for your own channel. It's a little bit mixing use cases, I think, because it's like in one case, you're MrBeast and you're want to get inspiration for your next MrBeast video. And then the other is you're not MrBeast and you want to rip MrBeast's thumbnail.
Why even allow me to search for different channels? Why don't I just connect mine if it's only for me?
We'll get to this, but like friend of the show, Point Crow,
the animal,
tweeted like an old MrBeast tweet where he was complaining about someone ripping his exact thumbnail. And it's like, why would you extract this into a tool?
Yeah, like we've done this, Jarvis, you and I, in the past, where we tried to create our own version of a like popular channel, content farm or whatever, just to show the behind the scenes of how that stuff was made. Someone could just like make MrBeast videos, right?
And not do the behind the scenes. Just do the channel.
Like straight up make it.
And people do. And that's the thing. And that is a form of, what is it? What would I call it? It's like, it's such a cheap, it's a cheap way to profit, which is like a lot of people are in the market for that. And there is a difference between people who are willing to mislead and lift someone's creative identity or property or whatever to make a quick buck, and someone who like respects that boundary. And those two forces are at odds often on YouTube, but especially like within this pitch.
And MrBeast and his like and the general cohort, you know, they're the Walmarts, they're the Targets. The shoplifting means a lot less, sure, as far as just literal margins go. But come on, you know we're not talking about them, right? Like the problem isn't that we're talking about them when we say like, hey, it's weird that when people make generated artwork of, I don't know, Pixar-style characters, almost the Ghibli ones was just especially sinister. They're like, oh, I made the profile picture of a Studio Ghibli art. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this person is just having a bit of fun online. And then someone always has to arms race it all the way up and be like, and this is why we should get rid of Japan. And there's like, okay, I'm not sure I follow that. The channels at the medium level are losing.
That artist who was ripped from the marathon assets, like they're not a large artist that's able to defend themselves.
They
like,
could have just been compensated. That would have, but they just didn't.
Sure, right. And that's the thing where it becomes so easy to, you know how like content ID on YouTube prevents you from like just outright taking someone's stuff too much.
Yeah.
Like and obviously they can like put a manual claim on it or whatever, but like even though we think, you know, like ever since Napster, we've had this like price memory in our mind that like music should be cheap if not free. That has had an impact on artists, mostly of the mid-size, to small, because I know tons of musicians who have hundreds of thousands of Spotify listeners who like can't pay their rent.
And a day job.
With
It is unsustainable
with the money that they make from that. And yes, that is partly the world evolving, but we expect that type of creativity to come with no cost.
Yeah, that labor is less valuable pound for pound.
Yeah, and that's like a back. I feel like it kind of is a backdoor into thinking that no creative labor is valuable.
It's naturally one step down because you have the audacity to think you're better than
Because why is making it free liberating and evening the playing field for everyone? Because it's someone's labor that you're making free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, like, I think people forget that someone is making money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Businesses are making money. Like, but the artist who creates the thing isn't, which I think is like what this kind of boils down to, right?
It just feels like that type of thing, you know? That type of like Napster, but for thumbnails. And then, because wouldn't it be great if I could have anyone's work that I wanted?
Yeah. And then whoever comes along and is just like, well, yeah, but like, it's the most efficient way to make the iPhone. I'm like, you little rat. You little rat. All you want's the cheese. You just don't care. It's just like not something you value. Like, oh, but if we paid them more, then we wouldn't get the thing. Yeah, of course, like, people in the medical industry are underpaid. Or like, of course teachers don't get paid properly because, I don't know. It's like, you are not the top of the ladder. Why are you defending these guys that would burn you at the stake for $15?
Everyone, they're like a temporarily embarrassed billionaire.
Yeah,
it's like I'm down today, but I'm a billionaire tomorrow. So I've got to
worry about it.
I've got to protect that. I've got to protect my future bag.
I'm signing up for the $249.99 version of Theft Inc. or whatever this is called.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm in so much credit card debt.
Why not support the people who are millionaires?
Yeah,
and billionaires
my future
now?
peers.
Yeah,
dude, that guy who was like the make college great again or whatever, because his plan of going to college was to connect with a co-founder to do something.
A co-founder and a future wife.
That's right.
Yeah, and he wanted to have the best years of his life.
He wanted to acquire people.
So what do you mean I'm not allowed to go to the Ivy League that I deserve?
This isn't fair.
One time I brought up the concept of a salary cap or an income cap to a friend, which these are, revolutionary concepts because in America, we don't allow ourselves to think about that.
It's no rules, just right.
Yeah. So I was just talking about it. I was like, yeah, what if we had an income cap and like after, $200 million, you had to give the rest to charity or whatever. And he was like, whoa, I don't want to stop anyone from getting their bag.
Oh, yeah. That's that.
And I was like,
the thing is, that person
$200
million is so
is
much
a bag.
money.
What are you talking about?
It's only the bag.
That is generational wealth.
It's only the bag if you believe that the $40,000 teacher's salary is working in 0.0000 infinite 0.1% less than the person making 200 million. If it's merit, but then the answer, I think, and I'm as guilty as anyone because it kind of does burrow into your brain, is like, well, if you want to be a teacher, you know you weren't going to make that much money. I'm like, well,
but then it just creates a brain drain where it's like one of the most pivotal roles in our society is not desirable because it doesn't provide a living wage.
It's very uncreative. It's a very uncreative way of approaching the world. Like, well, we have to play by these rules. I'm like, no, that's what like a amendment is. You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's like changing something because other stuff changed.
It's sad that
if everyone could fly, they'd change the rules of football.
It's really sad that someone who's like passionate about teaching and good at their job will likely get burnt out at some point because it is such an underappreciated profession.
They had the audacity to lead children down a positive path.
I mean children. I'm even talking about like college because right now it is so hard to get a tenure track job that you just end up working part-time for like 3 different universities.
Yeah.
And it's like at any level, teaching is
the other thing
underappreciated.
about that is that people immediately defensively go, well, why don't you give all your money away, Hassan? And it's like, okay,
you think Hassan makes $200 million?
Yeah. There's also like, it's a systemic issue, right? Like, it's like, the issue is that one person can't move the scales unless they're the richest person in the world. Then they can move the scales a little bit. But even that person cannot move the scales as much as, getting a plurality of people to like agree on a system.
And if the claim is like, hey, Hassan, you should give away all of your money. I'm like, okay, how much money should he give away? And then they say a figure. I'm going like, oh, sounds a bit like a salary cap.
Yeah,
You're saying you should give away down to that amount.
Right.
So should everyone go down to that amount?
It's almost like the intersectionality of like a lot of these different kind of forces, which is why this conversation went this way, and also ADHD. But let's hit play.
All from one single prompt and no inspiration from any other channel. You can type literally anything you want and it will generate
the thing
a thumbnail
is,
for you.
that's the part that's not true.
That's madness.
When he says no inspiration,
That's just a lie.
he is saying I didn't tell it to look at Dreams thumbnails and then make this. But Dreams thumbnails are in the DNA of the program that generated that.
Essentially, he's saying, I didn't say it. It's not inspired by one thumbnail. It's inspired by all thumbnails that have ever been on the internet.
Yeah.
It couldn't be more inspired.
Yeah.
It's more inspired than any plagiarist could be.
Because all these LLMs are doing is like very fancy pattern matching. And if it does not know what Minecraft is, then it
just thinks really
cannot
hard.
generate a isometric Minecraft thumbnail. And so,
and
it doesn't know what a YouTube thumbnail is. And so
people seem to think it's like, Minecraft, that gives me an idea. Invents the whole game.
It goes, well, let me, match all these. Okay, this looks like this. And I know that because of these things. It's like it's so hard to explain. But yeah, it's basically pattern matching. So you could get it to like generate you could probably get it to generate something that looks like a thumbnail that already exists on YouTube. And I haven't played around with this, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But we are signing up for the $259.99. It just went up. It was $249.
All right, but anyway, continue.
To demonstrate, I have this F1 thumbnail with an F1 car. And so in the prompt, I'm just gonna simply type in change F1 car to minivan. And boom, it's done.
Also, most of the thumbnail was the car.
Replace this image.
Also, like that example is a very fun one to include because it's the easiest one to do with Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's the easiest one to do. It's a white background. Just select the part that's not the F1
would be
car.
adding the business of F1. Just find a photo of a
That
van.
is funny though, because in ChatGPT, if you try to do out of the box, it like doesn't do that very well.
Text is known good, right?
Yeah, well, but the other tools, like the ones that are like, and I actually don't know about ChatGPT 4.0 because I don't like really use it a ton, so I haven't ever tried this. But I can't really speak for modern day ChatGPT.
If you really like the thumbnail you're generating, but not the face on it, don't worry, we have this face
Because it's
swap
not
tool
your
that you
face.
can click.
Oh, look, there's a
Upload
face swap
face
tool.
you do like, and it will instantly swap it on.
Face you do like. So what I don't like is Markiplier's face, and what I do like is my face.
Our face. Just anyone.
It feels like when those like cheating websites are like, it helps you study better by telling you the answers to the test.
Yeah. Helps you study really well.
Yeah.
This is the future of YouTube thumbnails. No more complicated Photoshop and having to get a PhD in how to edit things and figure out what 1,000 buttons do.
I gotta say, I think I wasted my time getting my master's.
Yeah.
My doctorate in doing podcasting, I feel like is not fair.
Dude, honestly, my postdoctoral thesis in flying an airplane is not useful at all for making thumbnails.
One image. Yeah. One behind the scenes of rehearsal season 2. I don't know what that was about.
All right, so now I will say, Point Crow, I'm not gonna hold him to these initial tweets because there's a developing story, and we were gonna have him on the show, but he's not feeling well because he's been using too much ChatGPT. No, but he did have some bangers here. So can we go to his original tweet though? So he said, so MrBeast gets a complaint about channels stealing his thumbnails, then turn around and make a tool that does exactly the same thing, but faster and cheaper. He promotes his new AI tool in a video on the site, saying it can copy any channel style of thumbnail for YouTube videos and even edit it so your face is in it instead of the original creators. He initially states it can be used for inspiration, but then continues on and notes that this will literally be the way you generate your thumbnails going forward. I spend days, weeks, sometimes months. I mean, Point Crow thumbnails are really good. I spend days, weeks, sometimes months thinking of thumbnails, working with artists to craft the perfect one, and you've made something that can steal my and my artist's hard work without a thought. Your model is clearly trained on all of our thumbnails and uses them without any creator's permission and makes it not only easy, but it attempts to make this socially acceptable too. Way to take the creator out of content creator and the fun that comes from making up new ideas. Majorly fuck this. If there's any class action lawsuit, count me in. I'm so done with this guy. So then, this is the largest channel in Russia, takes my thumbnails and photoshops his face on mine.
When was this?
This is from 2021. So obviously his opinions could have changed about this since then, but I think that it's pretty, you can sympathize with this, right? Like, because it feels like a clear rip. But we see this thing kind of happening quite a lot. And then Beast and Point Crow talked.
That's the two planeswalkers.
Beast and the Point Crow. I said, had a chat with MrBeast about the AI thumbnail creation tool. While I'm uncertain what will be happening moving forward, I voiced my thoughts directly with him. Great idea to want to make content creation more acceptable. That's like what I was saying earlier, but this isn't remotely the solution to that and fundamentally hurts creators as a whole. Just mentioning because I think it's important to note that he reached out, even though we still largely disagree, leaving everything up to discourage this still. Yeah. And I'll count this hopefully as my book into the saga. Just because I'm sure it's very annoying to like go to bat against MrBeast where you're going to get a bunch of like, and this is like any large creator, like if you disagree with them, you're going to get a bunch of random harassment that you didn't ask for.
Just noise.
I mean, even this person who doesn't support MrBeast clearly, but is still being very mean.
It's coming in with
Oh
an
my
energy.
God. It's like, he doesn't give a fuck. And
God,
like, by
you
the way,
people
look
are
at the ad.
fucking
We can't even put
stupid.
that on the screen. Like, look at the ad.
No.
But God, you people are fucking stupid. It's like, okay, there's no,
Hey, brother.
like, it's like, yeah, take a step back,
Yeah,
take a chill pill, take a deep breath,
Hey,
count
man,
to 3.
It's okay. There's like...
But he doesn't care about your feelings or his fans or anything. That's not the point. The
Yeah,
point
it's
is
like,
to shame him.
Brother.
well,
As much as,
also
like-
the
like
point is like, the
don't-
point is MrBeast is $1 billion enterprise and he does have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you want to try to shift like where that energy is if you can. I am admittedly biased because I have, met and talked to MrBeast before. And I do think that while he is very misguided about a lot of stuff, and he will continue to make mistakes that I vehemently disagree with, I do think that he does care about other creators. Whether that includes, like when he talks about the YouTube community, I'm not sure how inclusive that term is of all creators. And that's just to say that, like, I think he operates in a bubble.
He has a class solidarity with that type of creator in that space. It's the good-hearted philanthropist kind of thing. It's not like Batman where you're just like, well, I don't know if beating up the people is like the best solution for it. And he's like, okay, I'll beat up the Joker. Yeah, I guess.
Like,
I would
what
maybe
if there's just certain people?
I guess I just like fund Gotham, like help the people or something. Like,
What if I just beat up like the freaks?
okay,
Wait, what?
all right.
Like, for example, like many years ago at this point, this is like around pandemic time, I was in a Discord group with some other creators, and sometimes we would like voice chat and talk about like YouTube strategy and things like that. And sometimes MrBeast would come in and discuss YouTube strategy and give people feedback on thumbnails and things like that, right? In that, it seems to me that he like cares about the game of YouTube. And what he probably feels like is he's giving cheat codes to everyone, and it is just like completely wrong.
Ironically, honestly, it's a little bit like F1, where a lot of the teams just have more money and have better cars. And it's
I have van. Does that
you have
count?
a minivan.
I have van.
You have not qualified for an F1 race yet, no? Because the van also has an F1 engine in it, but it just rattles around in the front because it's not installed.
But it goes so fast. Also,
so
I'm the
quick.
Flash, and I put my feet through the bottom like Fred Flintstone.
That's gonna hurt.
And then I won.
Okay, congrats. I guess it's not just like F1 then. I guess if you're really fast at running. But like that is like the cliche of F1 where the team can't afford it, and they're like, okay, well, get more money.
It's like, so I just wanted to call out my own bias because this entire video or episode so far has been critical of him. I haven't quite completely fallen on the other side of him being adverse to any feedback or change, because it does seem that he takes that feedback when criticized. The issue is whether or not it is internalized and results in action,
or if it's only ever like a large large language model. It's kind of like, hey, it's only going to do stuff it's instructed to, and at a certain point, you got to have a little initiative. You got to like pre-screen these things. You got to innovate and say, oh wait, hang on. This idea might be bad before I do it, as opposed to, well, we'll see if anyone tells me I'm wrong.
In the most cynical, my fear would be him reaching out to creators directly is simply to like tank the alt a little bit, and try to parry away some of this. Can you tell we've been playing too much Expedition 33? It kind
of more of a support role.
Kind of reduce the furosity, like how
the
kind
fervor,
of like reduce the amount of energy that people have for this issue. Because if it's like, oh, I can just talk to somebody and somebody goes, oh my God, MrBeast notice, then they like chill on it a little bit. Like that would be the most cynical way to view it. And I think that the people criticizing him, us included, should continue to do so because it's a gigantic institution that not only has impact on creators, has impact on YouTube, the platform. I know that for a fact, like that people at YouTube are paying lots of close attention to MrBeast and his team, and he's talking to those people a lot. And we have to make sure that like YouTube doesn't become a platform that is just for MrBeast, and is, for everyone else.
Because it ultimately isn't super sustainable that way. No. We haven't reached it yet, but there will be a market cap on how many Jimmys can operate in rotation.
Right.
Eventually, it just starts to. Well,
there's
melt
a
down.
fatigue at a certain point, you would imagine, but MrBeast's business model is not to build and grow with an audience. It's to meet people at like ages 6 to 18, and then from 35 to 65.
It's weird.
I'm just kidding. It's like they're trying to reach the maximal amount of people at all times, and there's a lot of kids in that who are aging out of it because it's like pretty colors and explosions and stuff.
Yeah, and it's a little like, I mean, like when people have like homework addiction and they come out of school and then they're like, wait, how do I get points? Like, who's grading me on stuff? Like, how do I win life right now?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, sorry, the rules in the real life are like way weirder and not that fun, and you don't just win from the rules.
Yeah.
It's like that where it's like, well, I'm doing YouTube the hardest. I'm doing the most YouTube.
Right.
And you're like, right, but like other people want to like make something and do that. They want to like grow, but like within the thing they want to do. And he's like,
oh my God,
but why would you do that one when it isn't the
you can
most?
Become rich and famous and also have all of the money in the world?
The most points. It's almost like the money is arbitrary. It's like, yeah, the money is there, so I can make another video that gets an A+ from my teacher, and I get a sticker.
Jacksepticeye also was popping off.
Here we bloody go.
Friend of the show, Jacksepticeye.
Top of the morning.
He said, what the actual fuck? And he used my logo in the promotion for it too. I hate what this platform is turning into. Fuck AI. So that's another thing.
I was going to ask if those logos consented.
Yeah, I knew that when I saw this tweet that they weren't. And so like, that's another like fucked thing.
The first reply.
It feels like kind of a lack of respect for other creators. Like you can't, like if you're building a tool that is analyzing like publicly available data, that's one thing. But in an advertisement, when you're putting someone's logo in it and you're advertising that it's like, oh yeah, our product works well with Jacksepticeye YouTube channel.
When I saw those logos fly by, the only one that really jumped out to me that I spotted was Marquez. I saw Marquez and I went, oh, that's interesting, because I know he's not an accelerationist, but he is interested in tech and progress and tools. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of see a world where maybe, Jimmy reaches out, this is the product I'm working on, would you be all right with me just putting this in the video? Just from a vanilla brand PR point of view. Like, just do that. Like, if I had a Wendy's logo in the video, I'd be like, oh, we should probably make sure that that's okay to have in there, right? I think that the Beast brain literally could not conceive of somebody not liking it to the point where he's like, well, yeah, I'll put in that, like, okay, here's my ranking for ugly.com. I'm putting Jordan right in there.
He won't be mad.
Well, hang on, because he's ugly. What? I don't want to. What are you talking about? That's mean. It's not mean. I think it. Like, why would you not want your logo on here? It's very good.
Yeah, don't you want to be associated with the future? Don't you want to? Oh wait, what do they say in the tech industry? Don't you want a seat on the spaceship?
Yeah, dude. We're
gag. Fucking throw up in my mouth.
We're a family, and we're going on the spaceship. God. And what's your first name?
Can you work overtime?
We recorded this episode on June 25th, and on June 26th, MrBeast released this video on his Twitter explaining that ViewStats would be removing the AI thumbnail feature and would create another tool allowing video creators to connect with thumbnail artists to hire for their videos.
Can we cleanse our palate a little?
Let's cleanse our palate. I'm hungry. We're going to eat after this. You won't get to see that part. There's no Sad Boyz mukbang channel yet. If you'll pay for it, we'll do it.
For the right price.
Tell me the right price.
Okay, I'm going to have to talk to my therapist.
No, just kidding.
I've been texting me and they make fun of you.
So we got a little heated. We got a little into that last topic. But before we wrap up today, what are you doing? Oh, okay. We're gonna bring back a Pen Palz Advice segment where once a month, roughly, we'll be pulling out something to chat about, like a little advice, Sad Boyz Advice Corner, Pen Palz edition. And on our Patreon, okay, he's happy now. You're like a minion / a gestural from.
You're kind of like Scooby Doo too.
What was that? Who was I just now?
You just saw a babe. You just saw a certified babe.
My eyes pop out of my head.
My tongue rolls out, it won't come back.
You're trying to pull it back. So we'll be doing this about once a month, and on our Patreon in the $15 tier, we have a watch along that we do every month, and we'll be adding advice for those patrons as well. So if you want to head on over to patreon.com/sadboyz, where you can check that out. There's also some free content like our mailbags and magic moments. There's also Sad Boyz Nights for $5 a month, where you get a bonus podcast. You get 2 podcasts every single week.
What the hell? We got a face swap feature. You swap the 2 of us around.
And you can also go to nowhere and not do anything and continue receiving this show for free and don't even worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Discretionary entertainment spending. Don't feel pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, never feel any pressure.
And you could just go nowhere.
However, if you want Sad Boyz mukbangs, send me $1 million and I will give you a live feed of me eating every day.
Hell yeah.
So this comes from Campbell, he, him.
Hello, Campbell. Dear Sad Boyz and team, I am currently working a job that involves working one-on-one with a coworker for whole days with lots of tasks that leave time to talk. As someone so bad at small talk that I often forget to ask, how about you? After someone asked me how my weekend was, I am rapidly running out of topics of conversation. Can you offer any advice or suggest some novel topics? Thank you, and I'm sorry. And then mini ellipses.
This is like a worst nightmare scenario for someone who hates small talk. There is a type of like work where, like in the programming world, there's a thing called pair programming. Yeah. Where you have like someone who's the driver who's like writing the code, and you have another person who's like they're helping talk through everything. The idea is that like 2 heads, make better decisions and blah blah blah. And there's some companies that I at least know of one company that work mostly like that for all their development work, or like one of our friends had to do it for their design work. Nightmare for me.
Everybody has to drift compatible Mac.
Yes, exactly.
Collaborate.
And okay, so
Can I just say,
yes,
not nightmare situation for me.
Shut
Ideal
up.
situation. I love to gab.
Well, you're a gossip.
Well, what do you do? Tell us.
Okay, here's some tricks of the trade. Like, I love to hear, like, maybe this is actually me being too forward sometimes. Like, sometimes I get worried that I'm asking too personal of questions, but I just love to hear people's stories about their lives.
I mean,
And so, you know, and also my brain's like a, you know, freaking ping pong ball just like bouncing all around. So
it's like a ping pong ball bouncing all around. You know.
So sometimes I'll just be like, oh, breakfast was like so good this morning. Like, what's your favorite breakfast ever? Like, that's how my brain works.
I do like the setup. You're like, it's almost like you're trying to ask somebody out and you're trying to like find a way in. It's like, yeah, no, movies are so good. Do you want to see one actually one time?
Is that one you're like trying to see right now and maybe not alone?
Oh my God, I've been using chapstick. My lips are so soft.
Could we kiss them
Yeah,
together?
could we like
test
kiss?
them?
I've actually not been using chapstick. I've been cheating with something called ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Swapping lips.
But you bring up a good point. You can small talk about anything. Every little thing in the world has an infinite amount of complexity to it. And if you need to like find time to talk or find something to talk about, you can. But I will say that silence is also not bad. It is not like if Jordan and I are hanging or we're traveling or something, there's going to be talky chatty times. There's also going to be completely silent times, you know? You never see those on the podcast because it would be a very boring podcast.
It would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
we'd
it
look
wouldn't.
cool. No, we'd look cool though. Sunglasses on.
Okay, idea.
I've been around you guys when you're silent. I've never thought you're cool.
What the hell?
Okay.
Imagine like a Beats to Study to like loop where it's like us working for an hour with like lo-fi.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But no music though. It's just like me going like.
Jordan being sniffly ASMR 10 hours.
Jordan ticks. Ticks only. It's me ruffling my nose, opening my eyes.
I just want to like answer the last question directly. Can you offer any advice or suggest some novel topics? Novel topics, I think, are movies,
Novels.
things that you've done recently, and then also just being genuinely interested in the other person.
It is very easy to, I think, if it sounds like potentially, by the way, that this other person is maybe a little less or a little more reticent to get the ball rolling socially. Like that, like this person may be feeling, because either they're feeling obliged to fill the silence, which is a trainable skill. It's going to feel unintuitive, but ultimately, if you're adapting to a workspace together, the silence will kind of come naturally. The rhythm will find it. But also, if you're just finding that they like feel like they kind of want to chat, but you're not sure how to kick it off, there's a very thin line, I think, between asking about a person and their personhood and their like intricacies, and asking someone what they're feeling in the moment. I think if you're kind of, people like to express and kind of talk about themselves and in a positive sense and kind of bounce off of you and learn about you. It's a lot less intimidating, I think, both as the asker and the askee, Art, to answer, hey, what do you think you want to do after work today? Or what are you planning this weekend? They're very generic, but there's always an answer in a way that like, who's the favorite member of your family? Or like, where did you grow up? That's a one-timer.
So some people, myself included, may not want to go super, I guess when I was in an office, but because my work now is getting personal, but the I may, like, you don't want to pry about someone's personal life.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, what's your relationship like with your mother?
Exactly.
Ask them what their 5-year plan is.
Yeah, but
that's a tech move.
All I'll say, what I will say is that if you find out something that they're interested in, that it may be a hobby that they have, there's an endless amount of questions and things, or a movie or a TV show, like anything that if it's really bothering you, you could like take more of an interest in the things that they're interested in, and then you have something to talk about. But they might not like small talk either. So
that's the fine line.
Yeah.
Because that's the trouble I get into, because I love chit-chatting with people, and then I'll encounter someone who hates it. And that's when I'm like, okay, I need to chill. And how do I balance my curiosity of someone with respecting their boundaries?
Right.
Depends what the work is, I suppose. But there's like, if there's gaps between these tasks, I think that does give you a rhythm. It sets one up for you. It's like, oh, now we're doing this task, whatever it is, and for however long it is. Let's say it's like a physical labor related, right? Like move some boxes, like an opening of SVU. I'm just the guy moving the boxes, a body. One of those people.
What? Who put that in there?
Well, then it's like, okay, naturally, a little rest point. How are you, etc. One thing to keep in mind, there is a very good chance, because nobody is like adept at all social things, there is a very good chance that they are feeling the same way, if not more severely, that like they aren't sure how to move it along. Even if they seem maybe comfortable or charismatic or something, it's a balancing act. Nobody's amazing at this, right?
Yeah,
so it's a gift to ask like an easy question, and then they can dictate the flow.
The last thing I'll say is that if, depending on the nature of the work, if the person has a particular focus in the type of work, you could also ask them like questions, like, because like with programming, like I feel like I could learn a lot from people, because there's so many different things that people would be interested in that like field that I would never give a shit about, like to learn myself, but then I could learn it from someone else because they like love to talk about it. So it's kind of like you just gotta kind of poke and prod figuratively and like find what someone is like responds really positive to, and then just like mine that.
Yeah, and your boring conversations or like boring topics will probably become fun because you'll get to know each other so much better, just naturally by sharing the same area.
Yeah, being like, what are your plans this weekend, or got any fun plans this weekend?
I roll my eyes. Oh.
Then you find out what someone's interested in.
Yeah, maybe you bring them a gift, like a little tiny knickknack, and then if they really respond to it, then now you've got a bunch of stories you can tell about finding it, or about the weird guy that you saw at the store.
Carry
like
stickers on your person at all times.
Yeah, or don't, because that's fucking strange.
Or like little plastic ducks or something.
One thing that sucks about like it being in a professional setting instead of just a like super chill setting is it's so fun to gossip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's ever so fun to gossip, and you really shouldn't do too much of that at work.
I have a friend who is around my age, but everyone she works with is like in their late 50s. And it's like all these old women that like one at a time will come to her and talk shit about the others. That's and so funny. She doesn't like, she just listens to it. She's like, and so she has like all of the office drama from everyone.
Mode. She can view everything.
She's got all the compromise.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, let's speed run. Oh.
I do have a quick word on this.
Yes.
In terms of like, if you aren't sure if they also want to talk at that moment, or like if they want to focus on their work, I always just straight up say like, hey, if I'm yapping too much, like straight up tell me you want to work, and I won't be offended. Just be like, oh, sorry, I need to focus.
Yeah.
Or
100%.
Like I went on a first date a while ago, and I was like worried that we would run out of things to talk about because we were just like sitting down and getting coffee. We ended up talking for 5 hours because it was just like
you locked the door.
Yeah. You can very easily piggyback new conversations onto the ones
just
you were having. Like as you're talking about something, if it reminds you of something else, keep that there until they're done talking. Then like also, and just like keep doing that if that helps you continue finding topics of conversation.
Off of what Jarvis just said,
we're never going to end this question. We keep
yes-anding
on each other.
I think I actually got better at being social because of improv.
No, you're welcome to talk.
I'm yes-anding, you're yes-and.
And I'm just joshing. So we're going to speed through these next ones, speed round, and we know what that means. It'll probably still take a while, but we're going to try our best.
Yeah, these ones might be hard to speed run.
Oh, no. What advice? Oh, great. All right. Alex says, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self on career, relationships, goals? I will speed run this. On career, find something that you really are passionate about, because it becomes a lot easier to invest all kinds of time and interest into that thing when you're not forcing it. Relationships, similarly, surround yourself with people who build you up rather than tear you down, with people who you admire, with people who you like being around, who give you energy rather than take it, and value those relationships. And even if they wax and wane, they will live forever. And then goals, it's an ever-shifting target. It's okay to have short-term goals, and it's okay to think you're going in one direction and then ultimately change those directions. You can never go backwards, only forwards. And it's also okay to not have goals.
You gotta breathe.
I have a short answer for all of them. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right.
If you're not super into the partner, you should break up. If you aren't enjoying the career and it's not necessary for you to stay in that place, you should explore something else. Every day older that you are a better judge than the person a day ago. The 18-year-old self has a way worse idea of what your goals are than your 19-year-old self. And your 20-year-old self, if they feel like, wait a minute, I don't like this field at all. Why am I studying in it? Why am I so focused on doing dentistry when it's the thing I hate? Then you're more right than the 18-year-old self that said it. Setting a goal is only useful if it progresses and you enjoy doing it. Relationship-wise, literally, if you don't like the relationship, you should break up 100% of the time.
There's a way to think about my life where I wasted time by entering another career that was unrelated to what I do now. But if I hadn't followed that curiosity, it wouldn't have led me to so many of the things that in relationships that I now have, even though it seems like it would be more obvious to take a direct line if I could see the future.
That's my whole life. I mean, you guys often, razz me for having done everything.
You joined the Peace Corps and worked at the museums so that you could be a producer on Sad Boyz podcast. It's specifically in our job description.
You do have it. Like, we make fun of you, but
this job didn't exist when I was 18. Think about that.
Because we were too young to podcast.
Yeah, because we were being born. It was like... we make fun of you, but really it's complimentary because you have a wealth of life. And I think that is like, you've experienced so much more life in your time on Earth than most do.
So but that's because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I pivoted constantly.
Well, you know what you don't want to do.
I knew what I didn't want to do. I want to be a professor, and then I was like, oop, nope, don't want to be a professor. Try this thing. Nope, don't want to do that thing. Try this thing. And I just kept trying things till I found this beautiful home with Sad Boyz LLC.
Follow your curiosity if you can. I think that's one of the biggest gifts you can give yourself. Obviously, you gotta like make cash money and like survive and pay bills and stuff. So it's a luxury and a privilege. So
you can't always break up with
my one thing, if for myself specifically, my 18-year-old self, relax.
Chill out.
Chill.
That's it. Just chill out.
It's fine.
You're just starting, and also, if you think you should go to the doctor, go get some.
Go to the doctor.
Go see what mental health
brain doctor and
help
body
you might
doctor.
need.
I would tell myself in 2 years there's going to be a thing called Bitcoin. It's dumb as hell, but buy it. Buy it while it's cheap.
I said buy all the
people
Pokemon cards.
telling
Buy all
you
the
about
Pokemon
it,
cards right now.
Yeah.
They're the worst,
And then
but just do it.
And then in a few years you can buy all the Pokemon cards you want. I promise.
I have a cringe one real quick. I'll just throw out is be kind, but not a pushover. It is not kind to be quiet. It is not kind to be a people pleaser. It's actually destructive for all parties. Yeah. But cynicism is not cool. It's not impressive. It doesn't do anything for you.
Or anyone else.
Defaulting to benefit of the doubt, but keeping enough self-awareness to see when someone is wronging you is basically the answer to career, relationships, and goals.
My last
Oh,
my last one, I promise, is advice that I learned that has helped me in a lot of situations is pretty common. Will this matter in 5 minutes? Will this matter in an hour? Will it matter in a day, in a week?
Yeah,
and when you try to
pee when you have to pee.
Yes.
Don't hold it
Anastasia.
too long.
to that point, the tactic is, or a tactic that I would advise is like, or that my therapist has advised me, I will say, is you can worry, tell yourself that you can worry as much as you want in half an hour about this and just pause it for right now. And you'd be surprised how often half an hour comes up and you're not as worried about it. Scene.
Especially if ADHD and you literally can't remember what it was.
All right, now this one's from Al, or is it AI? Because that would be very funny.
Beep boop, beep beep, beep boop.
Okay, so it's very long, but we're gonna make it so short.
Well, the last thing I'll say is
okay, this is more asking for an opinion because this has made me curious. I started talking to a girl, and when I told her I don't really have social media, she said, "Sorry, that's a red flag for me." Bookmark. What's your take on that? It's a red flag.
Blood
Just say
red.
that it's a red flag.
That is
it's like don't be weird. I feel like people can be kind of entitled online. It felt pretty rude personally. I wonder if it's just me, it felt strange. And other people I've asked agree with me. What's your takes as public figures? How does this affect dating? I think that anytime someone has a red flag that is like, so who cares? Like if it's like I like the band Coldplay. I don't.
Yikes.
But like if they go, whoa, that's a red flag for me. It's like, okay, you care about dumb shit.
And if you are very invested, anybody who has like that suite of yellow and red flags, that like anime style clan guild, you are part of the red guild, and this trait means this. You're weird. You're like a weird person. That is a bad trait to have, is categorizing, because what it means is you can't think for yourself. You don't have like real opinions. You have like, I don't know, listening to Arctic Monkeys means you're a bad bloke. It's like, if you listen to Arctic Monkeys, no, but someone on Twitter told me what the right opinion was.
But I also think like, okay, so that's a red
also,
flag.
they suck, go away.
That's a red flag for this person, and it's like, who knows why that's a red flag for this person, but
They got told it.
You know, that's their prerogative, and it honestly says more about them and their experience than it says about you. So don't take it personally.
They are rude. They're just rude. Like
you can move on to the next person, and they're telling you, you know,
such a crazy thing to say.
They're telling you that they're not right for you with that sentence.
Yeah, every time I like ask my friends, like, "Oh, do you want to be tagged in this story that I'm posting?" And someone says no, I'm like, "Cool. Do you want your Facebook?" Like, "No, that's fine. Just don't tag me." I'm like, "Okay." And this person being like, "Oh, you're not sharing every moment of your life with everyone in the world."
Maybe this is just because I'm blackpilled with internet shit or whatever. But like, this is such a funny interaction because in my mind, this person basically said, "Yeah, I'm like an Olympian. I actually can run a 1 second mile." And then the person went like, "Ew."
Well,
they're completely not on social media. That is, I can dunk with my eyes closed. I can shoot a 3,000 pointer. No, that is way cooler than you. That's impressive and good. I'm healthy and well.
I don't
and
know
happy.
how old they are, but I think that it can be common when you're younger to like place a lot of value on some of these things that don't really matter.
We don't have your own principles yet.
And for me, like, if someone told me they like don't watch TV or movies, I wouldn't say that's a red flag for me, but I'm like, oh, that's something that we won't be able to relate on. And it could be similar here, where it's more like maybe they want to talk about Sad Boyz podcast and they want to talk about TikTok trends and things like that. And so maybe they don't feel like they can relate on those things that they spend a lot of their time with. And thus it's a red flag. But I think that the reason we reacted this way is saying sorry, that's a red flag for me is so insane.
Yeah, that is.
It's honestly cringe.
Rude.
It's just so weird.
This could have been about anything,
Yeah.
but that's just such weird social behavior.
Yeah, it's just a weird social behavior.
They could have said, "Sorry, I don't think we're going to have much in common."
Because I spend 100% of my time on social media.
Yeah.
Which is, whatever.
I did briefly dated somebody who didn't drink for their own health reasons. They didn't react well. It just made them feel sickly. So they didn't drink, but had like some like kind of light social anxiety in larger spaces. And when they had drank in the past, they're like, actually, it kind of helps me get past that. Now, I'm not suggesting this as a balm or something, but a lot of the time we would go to an event or a party or something. And I do really like hanging out with friends in larger spaces. I think it's fun exploring that and supporting one another and getting into it. And as like some of my friends would have drinks and stuff, she wasn't engaging with that and also wasn't engaging generally socially. None of these things are wrong, but it ruined several parties that I was going to because the whole time they were just waiting to go home. Now, if they dated somebody that did not enjoy parties like that, and if they dated somebody that also didn't drink, and they dated somebody that was also more into the hobbies they had, we didn't have a lot of crossover.
It's just a better fit.
It's alignment, man. Yeah. Like, I don't know. For me, it's like a little bit of a yellow, maybe a red flag. Again, I hate the terminology, but let's call red flag not something that's objectively bad, but something that is like okay, we can't date. Is if somebody was, I don't know, like super religious. Yeah. That's fine. I'm just pretty super not religious, and I would feel like I was robbing them of the opportunity to be sincere and open and to go to church or something. I don't know.
I like sorry, one more. The person I'm seeing right now, they
Jacob's like, I'm trying to end the show.
Please, for the love of God.
we have two more things to record.
The person I'm seeing right now, they don't drink for health reasons, and at first I was like, oh, like, will they be able to have as much fun at a party that they go to with me, like, as everyone else is having? I'm like, no, that's my own anxiety.
Right.
They know how to handle themselves at parties, and I can't be concerned for them about that.
Yeah.
I just have to, like, be chill about it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the social media thing, where whatever they told me they don't really, like, post much, I was like, that rocks. I wish I could stop doing that. I want to not do it, actually.
And with that, I got one more. No, just kidding.
Next question.
Thanks everyone who wrote in. We'll see you back here in about a month's time and see what other quandaries you've found yourself in.
What are your damn deals are?
If you want to submit a question and haven't yet, go ahead and use the link down below, and we might talk about it next month.
There's a linky, and if you are so inclined, there is a paid version of this on the $15 Patreon. By no means feel pressured to tap into that. But with that being said, we end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da. By the way, my new nickname is Top Gun. You can
Cut
see
it.
it from your hat.
Cut the cameras.
I am Top Gun.
What up? We just recorded a mailbag over on the Patreon. It's free, so you don't even have to log in. But if you sent something in, we probably opened it, or it got lost in the mail, which has never happened.
Don't worry about it. Also, you will get to see Anastasia's graduation photo.
Oh, that's true.
And it is so much better than anything I could have hoped for. You look like such a hick.
I'm from Arizona. What can I say?
You're on a horse?
We all look like that.
You don't look like you're riding side saddle.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it. Girl, too rich for me.